I'm a
right?
little blurry. I'm a little blurry.
You're a little blurry. Oh, because you're wearing you're not wearing glasses.
I'm not wearing glasses.
You look fine. You
Okay.
look fine. You look
Okay.
fine. And I think it would be unfair to our video editor if we go on longer than an hour. I mean,
Okay.
half an hour,
Okay. Okay.
kind of thing. And I have some set questions and we can just flow from there and
Sure.
figure out, and then we'll see what happens. So I really appreciate you doing this. And I printed my questions. I thought I printed them. They're on the other. I can get them this way anyway. There they are.
And I have chickens in the backyard, so I don't know if we'll hear them. The door's shut. I'm not sure.
It's fine. It's all fine. You know, we've all gotten so used to video at home.
Yeah.
That, you know, in the old days, the TV studios had to be a certain way and so
Yeah.
on. You can just tell the anchors are like, yep, not happening anymore. So this is specifically about the Sharing Housing 101 course, because I've realized that our landing page isn't doing a great job of selling people.
Okay.
And so one of the things that's really good is to have a testimonial. And that's what I've asked you to do here. So from the top, what did you like best about the Sharing Housing 101 course?
What I loved about the Sharing Housing 101 course for me was that I had an idea. I was in a position where I was doing sharing housing and it was not fantastic, nor where it was temporary and it wasn't where I wanted it to be. So I needed a plan to move forward. And I knew that I wanted to do it. I just didn't know how to do it. And I had hit some potholes and I didn't want to do that again. And I didn't know how to not do that. So I was I didn't know at the time I was looking for a framework until a friend of mine shared your website with me and said, Lily, this is what you're looking for. And it was 100%. I got your book and I read your courses. The first step and something that I think hindsight for me was really getting clear about what I did want and what I didn't want, what I could bring to a householder and what I was looking for, and that compatibility was key for me. And the course really gave me that. What I want, the haves and the have-nots, must-haves, and how did you put it?
Can't live with.
Can't live with. And I sat down and it was a process of getting clear. And I thought maybe it was a 30-minute process. It was not. It was 2-3 days of really honing it in. And I have some great friends that I send it to, my announcement to, that I ended up creating. I also sent that to you, and thank you for looking at it and giving me some pointers about, you know, what that needed to be. And once I had that, your course also gave us some ideas of where to post those announcements. And my first step was, you know, going to my network, which is something is included in the course, going to my network, and that worked medium. And then I decided.
What do you mean by it worked medium?
It didn't give me a lot of results.
Okay.
It gave me one result after talking to, you know, 10, 15, 20 people. What I've learned too is people like this idea. They say it's great, but some people just cannot get over the hump of the myths and the concerns and the roommate concerns, and recommending that, you know, people, it's a newer, for some people it's a newer idea. And what I found is for the people who have been doing it, it's, I want you. I became a person who was sought
Huh.
after because they understood it. So
Interesting.
I think the biggest thing is educating people about how this can work. And your book gives you an outline of it. Your book really blows those myths out of the water.
You. I'm delighted to hear that. Indeed. So I'm going to
And-
ask you my second question, unless you have a lot more to say there, or just, I
No.
want to turn this more comfortably into a conversation for us.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
What were your perceptions before you started our course?
My perceptions before I started your course was that I was, like I said, I was actively in a housemate situation.
Yep.
So before the course, I was fumbling along and didn't know what I didn't know, and hitting potholes and not doing the things and not having the conversations that I could have, knowing that it was something that I wanted to do, and fearful of it not being something I would be able to do.
Interesting. Interesting. So how has that perception changed?
Oh God, it's completely done a 180. It's actually a 360. It's,
No, 360 gets you back to where you were before.
well, maybe it's maybe it's a 180. It's
What did it do?
what did it do? It gave me confidence.
Uh-huh.
It helped me get clearer. It
Uh-huh.
helped me understand that if I took the right steps, that it was not only possible, but but it served everyone's needs. And
Uh-huh.
that's what I have found now, being in a homemate situation. It's not just a housemate, it's a homemate. And it
Oh,
took me
nice.
about 4 months to get there, and a lot of legwork and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of groundwork and a lot of conversations, and being determined that this is the right thing for me. This is going to get me to the next steps and the goals that I want to achieve in my life, and give me the security that I needed to do that.
So did you have a lot of people you talked to where you just sort of went,
Ye-
okay, this is not going to work. I know it's
Yes,
not going to work. And did the
yes,
course help you know that it wasn't going to work?
yes.
Can you say
Well,
more about that?
two things.
Tell us. Story.
Well, several things. Um, I am a believer in providence. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
believer in providence, and I trust my gut. So some of it is gut, but again, your course gave me the framework to ask the questions and to trust my gut. It's all
Yay.
right. Like that's what your course gave me, is not to be afraid that I wasn't going to find the right one, and taking something that I knew I didn't need and didn't want. And without the steps that you gave me, I wouldn't have been able to do that, because I had been in a couple of situations that I was in a situation where this is what I had to do and accept whatever I got, which
Yeah.
didn't work.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that it gave you the confidence to say no when you knew it wasn't going to work, and not get desperate,
Right.
and not jump to something like that.
Right.
So my next question, you've sort of been talking about it, but I'm just going to push it a little bit. What are the 3 biggest results or benefits you received from the course?
A framework, a
Mm-hmm.
guide, more than a framework, a guide.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, and putting that guide into practice, opening up and finding different avenues to where to put my announcements at, that led to, because once I got on um, a platform and put my announcement out there, once it hit, it took fire. Like, I put my announcement out there and I got 10 responses in 20 minutes.
Wow. What platform was that?
Furnish Finders. It's
Okay.
a traveling nurses platform, but it's not just that. It is a part of that, but it's also people who are looking to share housing.
Right. So you've got a critical mass in that sense.
In that sense. And my profession kind of lended itself to that too. But the first conversation I had, she knew and I knew we were a match. Now, this is a person who had been doing it, had au pairs in her house that help raise her children. She's older. She runs a nonprofit. She's had lots of people in her house. So she knew what she wanted and she knew how to do it. And because I was coming in with what I knew I wanted, and more than anything, knowing what I didn't want and what didn't work, that it was a match, and it has been a match made in heaven.
I'm so happy.
She is my homemate.
Yeah.
We both feel that. And I felt like I had a person who really got me and got what I was trying to do. And I got her what she's trying to do. And there's a level of respect, and that's key. That came out of the course too, is when you're thinking about what you want and the accountability, the respect has to be in equal parts, like equal parts. And respect definitely has to be there.
Yeah. No question. No question about that. I'm wondering, as I listen to you, did you ever go, and this is not in my prepared questions, did you ever go back to the class to renew your understanding, or did you get it the first time through?
No, I went back to it multiple times.
Interesting.
Especially in the beginning, like in the beginning stages of it. Like, I'd have to go read back the chapter of of what helped get me clear. Like the first chapter, the announcements, and also the course helped me in looking at it from the home holders perspective, and their questions. So that helped me get a perspective of, okay, this is what they are looking for and asking of me. This is what I'm looking at asking for them. So it took me, in that 4 months from the time I started, that book was my Bible for weeks, months.
Right. So did you also take the Sharing Housing 101 course? The online course?
I have the materials. I never took the course. Like, I've referred back to the materials that were in that.
Yeah.
But I didn't necessarily take this course. I think if I had taken the course, it would have expedited my process.
Yeah. I mean, the course and the book have similar information in them, but I was just trying to make another way for people to get that.
And another thing that really helped me was your webinars that you do too. Like, in that time, I sat in on at least 4 webinars.
You mean the Q&As?
The Q&As.
The Q&As, yeah.
Those were vital, because I hearing other people's perspectives and knowing that lots of other people in the country were either interested and or doing it. I was like, okay, I'm not crazy. This is not a crazy idea. I'm not, I have not gone to hippie land, and hippie land is okay with me, but that's what I get a lot. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that mean exactly? And why is that a bad thing?
Right.
You
Right.
know, but that is a perception for people. And even in talking to people who I know 100% that something like this would help them out of the problems that they say that they have, and they're just look at you like you're an alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
I
know,
know. Tell me about it. I've been working on this for 10 years, 11, 12 years.
and thank you. I just cannot thank you enough for your dedication and your passion and your understanding about this, because when I'm in Raleigh, I'm in the Triangle area, and we have a housing issue.
Everybody does.
We have a housing issue, and this is the perfect answer to a lot of things. And it's like anything. It is for the people it is for. It's not for the people it isn't.
Correct.
Now,
Or one of the things I do say is that people who share housing have to be able to live by the golden rule.
right, right. And not, and even the ones who might be willing to do it, if they don't, it comes to the surface pretty quickly.
Yeah, it does indeed. It does indeed. Okay, I am going to ask, so for the tape, would you recommend the materials?
Absolutely, 100%. I do recommend them. I have given the book away. I have shared it. Anybody who will listen to me, I share the idea and I always reference it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would love to bring something like this to the area and spearhead it.
Yay! I would love you to do that. I would love you to do that. One of the things we're doing up here that I'm piloting, I'm giving it it's a pilot. I don't know whether it's going to be successful yet. Is this a program we're calling SHIFT, Shared Housing Incentives for Taking Action. And the idea behind the program is that it's for homeowners specifically, and they get to take the 2 courses that we have online, and then, which is 5 Key Benefits in Sharing Housing 101. And then when they complete those, they get a consultation from me at their house to find out how to make it more comfortable for sharing. Then they're supposed to go find their own housemate, make the changes, and then they can come back to us and we will witness their housemate agreement, making sure it is a real agreement, and reimburse them up to $500 for the changes that they made to their house. And then we're going to do follow-up phone calls and with them as they move in, because week 1 is kind of a test, it's
Yeah.
week 1, and then at the end of their trial period, and then at 6 months. So that SHIFT, and my hope is that we can grow SHIFT outside of this area, and with support from us for the courses, but people will need to do the work on the ground around home consultations and talking to people and so on and so forth. So the big picture is that we start doing a train the trainer, teach people how to do it, help people. Oh my gosh, I've got some big birds flying by. Wow.
That happens to me too.
Omens. So yeah, so we want to grow this, whole idea and normalize it. And it's very interesting to see how things have changed even in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
because people are feeling it.
If there's something that I can do to help you with that, I would love to.
Thank you. You might well be able to. My last question here is, do you have anything else you would like to add?
I am just so grateful that I have found this information, and it led me to where I am. with a great housemate. I can't say enough about it. In a perfect setting. And it is beautiful.
Perfect. We cut. That was good. Thank you. I'll let Donna handle this and all of that kind of good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you were. Thank you. It's a great testimonial. We'll use pieces of it in various different ways. I'm sure she'll figure that out.
I would love, will you share it with me?
Of course. That was my next question was, are you comfortable first name, last name identified or not?
Absolutely.
Okay. Because of course, you know, a testimonial with first name and last name is much more
Absolutely. First name,
voracious. What's the word I want?
accountable.
Truthful. It has a quality of what's the word I want? Veracity.
Yeah, I will. Oh, I love that word. I love that word. I think that, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now I am purposely not on social media.
Don't worry about that.
I'm purposely not on Facebook, but I am on LinkedIn.
Okay.
So I would be happy to share this testimonial on LinkedIn and share with my experience, because I think that platform is has more weight and accountability. It's a professional platform. It's great for nonprofits.
Yeah.
I'm
going to stop the tape so that she doesn't have to keep listening to it.
Okay.
Stop recording. Yep.